Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this lovely bow holder monogram that's embroidered. So we're just going to hop right in and show you guys everything that you're going to need. You're going to need some ribbon, some fabric scissors, some adhesive spray, some heat and bond light, your cutaway stabilizer, your hoop, whatever you're using for your hoop for your embroidery machine, and of course your embroidery machine. This project is fairly easy and I feel like it's a great project for beginners, and there's multiple ways you can do it. I'm just going to show you guys. This is my first try. This is my first run on making one of these, and I'm just going to take you along and show you guys how I made this one. The first thing I started to do was cut my fabric, and you're not going to want to cut a too small of a piece because you want to have some extra room just in case you make an error. And once you cut that fabric, you're going to want to go ahead and cut your heat and bond light, and this is just great when you're using fabric. I like to use it when I'm doing applique designs or anything using fabric because you don't want your fabric to fray when you're embroidering. So this is a very, very good thing to have. All you do is cut it down to size of your fabric and you heat press it for a few seconds. I do about 10 seconds and then it'll be on there permanently. So here I am just doing that with both my pieces of fabric, and I'm going to show you guys once you heat press it, you just peel the paper off. And then it's going to show you a very, very shiny side. So make sure you do this on the side that's not where the design is mainly printed. You want to do this on the opposite side so that it'll show your regular fabric. This is something that goes on the bottom is what I'm trying to say. As you can see, this is how it looks once you peel that off. It's like a little shiny side, and that will be able to iron on. So if you're doing applique, you can do that and then you iron that on once you finish your applique design. So love heat and bond light. Make sure you grab you some. You're going to need it if you do embroidery. Alright, next up we have my mighty hoop here, and I'm going to be using cutaway stabilizer this time. Next time I may try the tearaway, maybe do 2 layers of tearaway, but in this instance I did cutaway just for my first try to make sure everything was on there really good. I did not want any puckering or anything like that. So we did 2 layers of cutaway stabilizer and then we just hooped that into the mighty hoop. I love mighty hoops, you guys. Definitely a good investment if you have a multi-needle machine or a not a flatbed machine. Mighty hoops are a lifesaver. So here I am hooping that up. It's super easy, and make sure your hoop is as tight as a drum when you tap on it. And then we're going to head over to our machine and hoop it up. In today's video, I am using the By Mirror 15 needle machine. I absolutely love it. We're going to upload our design, and we're going to go ahead and stitch and trace our design. Don't forget to trace your design, you guys, because sometimes your design may be out of the hoop and you're going to make you're going to break needles, and you may even hurt your machine by not tracing it. So make sure it's where it's supposed to be in the stabilizer field, and you're good to go. We're going to go ahead and choose our thread colors. For this, I just kept it simple and did basically the same thread color because it's my first time and I wanted it to be perfect. So I just did the same colors. The only colors that I did differently were going to be the ones for the first few stitches just to see where the placement is. So we're going to go ahead and do that and start our machine. I'm changing my button from automatic to manual because I want this machine to stop after each different thread color. So we're going to go ahead and do the first stitch, and this is just a placement stitch to show you where to put your fabric. So make sure you guys have that placement stitch at a different color just so you don't forget what you're doing. Now we're going to go ahead and place that fabric down on top of that stitch where I can see it, and this will be easier or better if you have a smaller piece of fabric, but like I said, I want to do a little bit extra in case I need backup, okay? I don't know, I like to use a lot of fabric, you guys. Hopefully one day I'll use less or even cut out my fabric to match exactly what it's supposed to be. Some people cut it out on their Cricut machine. Honey, I'm not there yet. This is my first time making this, so that's what it is, okay? Here we are cutting out that fabric. So first you're going to do the placement stitch, then you're going to put your fabric, and this is called the tack down stitch. Tack down stitch, and you're going to cut it out. Now we're just going to flip our design over to the back, and we're going to spray a lot of that temporary adhesive, and we're going to go ahead and place our ribbons, you guys. Now, I do want to say this. I wish I would have placed the top ribbons as well, because then I would have just been able to sew them on as well, but for some reason, I didn't think about placing the top ribbon. I just placed the bottom ribbon, but still it was a good, this is how you do it so that you don't have to use any glue. So then I placed my, my bottom fabric just so it could be a little cuter. You don't really have to have a bottom fabric because who's looking at the back, but I did it anyway. And you can also arrange your stitches to be different, and you wouldn't have seen the monogram on the back had I not placed this yet. I could have just sewed down the, what I should have done was sewn down the ribbon, did the monogram, and then placed the fabric, and then did the satin stitch. But it's okay, you guys. I'm just going to show you guys. This is my first time making it, so just bear with me. So now we are stitching once again, and this is actually stitching down those ribbons and that back piece of fabric. So that was awesome. You don't have to use any glue, and then you just head over to take a break, take it off your machine, and you're going to go ahead and cut away all that excess fabric, and then you're left with a front piece and a back piece. So once I finished this, you guys, I got really excited because I was like, okay, now it's time for the satin stitch and the monogram. And you guys, this turned out super, super cute. As you guys can notice, I really do wish I would have put those top ribbons on the back, and then we wouldn't have had the problem that I faced where I had to glue the top ribbon pieces on. So make sure you stick those top pieces of ribbon in before you do this, before you embroider, you guys. So make sure when you stick the bottom ribbon, you stick the top ribbon as well. So here I am just unhooping and cutting around all that stabilizer. You want to get really, really close, but not cut any of those stitches, because then it won't look right. So see, here I am having to glue on the top pieces of ribbon. Now I could have sewn these on when I did the other step. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm confusing you. I'm just trying to explain it in a way that you guys can understand. So I'm gluing everything together, and I'm just going to make my bow with hot glue. It's not going to come off, you guys. I'm using Gorilla Hot Glue. So this is really good glue. You can use any kind of glue that you like, or you can even sew your bow together. But I'm just trying to do the quick route, and I just used hot glue. So I just arranged my bow to how I wanted it, and I used a lot of different colors. I use this white, and I use pink as well. And I also used a little piece of that fabric. So just make your bow however you want. You want to make sure you cut your bow down to size on the bottom to make it even, so it looks really professional. And I just kept folding and gluing, you guys. You can do however you like to do. It's really up to you. A lot of people do small bows. I like to do big and beautiful. That's just me. I'm very, very girly, and I want it to be very big. So here I am just adding all that glue and adding all those bows. You don't see any of the glue because I do it in a way that you can't see it. I just try to make sure it looks as professional as possible. And a lot of people have been asking me to buy these, you guys. So I do think these will be a great seller in your shop. And they're very, very easy to make, as you see. This is only a 10-minute video, and it was very easy. I don't think this is a challenging project at all. I feel like anyone with an embroidery machine can do this. Even a flatbed embroidery machine, you can definitely do this. So here I am just cutting down some fabric, as you can see. And I'm just going to glue that on just as well as I've been gluing the ribbon. So we're going to get that together. And you guys, this turned out absolutely amazing. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this bow, and I'll show you guys the final product. Don't forget the last two steps, you guys. Make sure you are lighting your ends of your ribbons with a little lighter, just to make sure that the ribbon doesn't fray. You know, just make sure everything stays in place. So the final steps are using your lighter, and then you get to add on all of your pretty bows. This is such a fun project, and I hope you guys have fun making this. Make sure you guys subscribe and like this video if you want to see more tutorials like this in the future.